Hello, and today I will be showing you how to make a simple obby in Roblox. So an obby is basically an obstacle course, as you can see here that it involves jumping and other sorts of obstacles for the player to get past. So I'll show you how to make one. So first we need to open up the base plate. Okay, so now once we open it up, wait for it to load. Okay, that's good. So first let's get rid of that. So first we want to find a spot to place your spawn. So we'll place it in the corner right here, spawn point. So click the arrow next to workspace, then click the plus sign, then search spawn location. Then you should click that and it should appear right in the center of your screen. So for me it was right there. So we will start off by doing the basic jumps. So you jump from place to place without falling in the gaps. So you click the part, then you choose, oops. So you click the down arrow next to the part, then you choose which shape you want to add. So I'll just stick with squares for now and then drag them into place. Be sure to check that your platform is level with the base plate on all sides. As you can see right here, this platform is a bit off, so we want to make it and try to make the gaps between the jumps even to make it look nice. Now something you can do as an extra is that if you want, you can raise some of the platforms higher up to make it more challenging or look nicer. Oops, anchored. So you'll want to go here and disable the anchor, or did I enable it? Yeah, disable the anchor and lift it up. Okay, so it's connected to the base plate. So now we want to go to the base plate here, then delete it. Then you should have these jumps. So now you can lift up the jumps easily without having any difficulties, because before they were anchored to the base plate. Another thing you could do is you could just scale them up higher one by one. So that looks good. We'll add some more jumps. The reason why I had the base plate on before was that it gets a lot more difficult when you don't have a plate on the bottom to help you do it. So just because of that, I'll add another part and make it really big. So it's just like a plate on the bottom for us to help place all our blocks on, then delete it later on. So you don't accidentally drag it somewhere far, far away like I just did. Again. Screw that. Okay, so now we have something to place more of our jumps on. Helps a lot. So now let's copy that and paste it a bunch of more times. And that's not what was supposed to happen. There. Yeah, now we can move them back onto this base plate and then just move them into place one by one again. And that should be good enough. Now we'll change the height. After we delete the base plate. Or not really the base plate, but... Okay, so now you want to add a bit of color to make it look nice. So let's go red, yellow, green, oops. Orange, green, blue, doesn't matter, any color you want. As long as it looks fun and rainbow colored. So yeah, that looks about good. And then we'll select all these parts by dragging our mouse over them like that. And select all of them. So you see how there's a very faint rectangle visible? So you can select all of those now. Then we can go to make sure you're at home. Then click the anchor button so they don't fall out of the sky when we start our test. So if we click the play button and wait for us to join the game, we should start our test and see how it goes. Hello? Oh, I see, not responding again. Okay, why is the toolbox randomly popping up? Okay, so now that we spawned on it, we can go and test it to make sure none of the jumps are impossibly hard or extremely hard, because most players will just give up if the jumps are too hard for them. Try that one again to see if it's possible. Oh, that's a problem. It looks a bit off to me. Nope, that one's not possible. So we'll go back to exit the test and make it that one a bit easier. That one did look a bit off. Aha. Oops. Move. Ah, it's anchored, so we'll want to unanchor it, then move it to the tiniest bit, then forward a bit. There, that should make it easier. Then we'll have to follow suit with the rest. Okay, and don't forget to re-anchor them, or else they'll stay unanchored. Now we'll test it again. Let's see if it works. one's a bit hard now. If you want to make it longer, all you have to do is select this entire section and make sure you cover all of the blocks. Copy it, then paste it, then move that new section. Oh wait, unanchor the new section first. Then move it down to that side. Then move it down a bit. Alright, the green ones. These two are still off. Gotta fix that. Okay, now we'll scroll out and anchor everything. Anchor. Okay. Now everything is anchored and now you have a longer one. Though you might want to change the color because repeating 2 colors in a row does kind of mess up the mood a bit. Let's see. Blue should do. Okay. These two platforms are a bit close. What should he do? And that's something missing. Looks like we forgot to select all of them when we moved it. It's okay, we can just copy that and then move it over there, then re-anchor. Now if we test it, we'll have a lot of jumps to complete. Oops, I forgot to change the color. I can do that later. Nope, that jump for the red one's still a bit too hard. Okay, now we'll try again. And if you notice that parts of your obby are just missing or not existing and just fell out of the air, then be sure to check if they're anchored, because if they're not, then they will just fall out of the air. As you can see, and we're missing another part right there. We'll just get rid of that. Then we should be good. Okay, so now that we have finished the first stage of our obby, let's move on to the next. Okay, so now I will show you how to make the second stage of the obby. So the first stage was quite boring with just jumping from side to just jumping from platform to platform to platform. The second stage will be much more interesting. I'll show you how to make a minefield. So first of all, we want a place for the players to land so they can know when when a certain stage is over. De-anchor that. So we'll make this as a little base platform. Later I will show you how to make spawn locations that are saved. So basically if the player dies, they won't respawn all the way back at the start. They'll respawn at the spawn location at the spawn location before the stage they died. So yeah, that looks good. Then we will change the color of it. There. So now we'll just make another platform, just copy that one and put it to the side. Just like that. Except this one, we'll color it black because this is going to be the minefield. Then we'll also make it bigger. Okay, so that looks good for our minefield. So now what you want to do is add a cylinder. So how you do that is you go to the part, then you click the down arrow, then you click cylinder, then you add it. Now you want it to be white because that's what it's supposed to be for our mines. So we will add that right now, and that's not exactly what we want. Okay, so now in scale, go to scale, then make it as small as possible. Then rotate it so that it faces upwards somewhat. Then drag it down to the bottom, then click, then when you see the joint, let go of it, and yeah, just let it stick onto the plate. So now you want to make this the tiniest bit bigger, so make it outwards, so make the, what do you call it, the green scale and the blue thing a bit bigger. So yeah, now that's our mine. So this is an important step, okay? So if your Explorer isn't open already, then go to View, then click Explorer. So now mine's gone. Now if I click it, it should reappear. Okay. So now that your Explorer should be open now, click on this part and see which part gets highlighted in the workspace. And left click the highlighted part, then click Rename. Then rename it Explosion part. Be sure you spelled it right and be sure to capitalize it, just like how I did it. So with the E in explosion capitalized and the P in part capitalized. Now you'll want to copy it, so Control C and then Control V a bunch of times. Okay, there, that should be sufficient. Then we'll just put them randomly throughout our minefield. And delete any remaining ones, because then that'll make it too hard. So now that we have our minefield and explosion part done, we'll need to add the script. So now go to Server Script Service. So in your Explorer, you should be in the workspace, scroll down until you see Server Script Service, then click the little plus sign next to it, and add a script inside. So it should be infrequently used, or if it's not in it, then go to Search Object and type in script and it should be inside. Now once you add that, get rid of the hello world, then go to this document, which I'll have the link to in the description below. Then copy this. So copy it. Then go to ROBLOX Studio and then paste it. And that should basically make the mines explode. So now if we run our thing, if we run our game, I'll move the spawn point. Should I? I'll just place another spawn point. No, I'll just run the game and go through the test. So go to test, play, wait for it to run. Now if we test our game, it should be there and exploding. Maybe we need to do a couple of jumps first. Where is it? As you can see down there, right at the bottom below the platform, it's exploding. We forgot to anchor it. So now we want to stop it. Then go right above it and select the entire square. All of them. Then go to model and then click anchor so it anchors. Now if we try it, it should work. There you go, you see the explosions on the platform ahead. Oops. that's a bit too close. Let's zoom out a bit. Okay. Dang it. Okay, you know what? I'll just move the spawn point right next to the explosion gauntlet so we can see it in action. So we'll do that right there and then play. So now that we're right next to it, what you want to do is run through it without dying and land on another platform that we forgot to add. So yeah, now let's try to go through without dying and then yeah, so the explosions will blast you quite far away in the air. As you can see, my head went flying. So you just want to try to go through